What is up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown. I just got done watching Survivor Series, and I'll be honest, after watching NXT TakeOver last night, it was so damn good. Like, there was at least 3 or 4 match of the year level matches on NXT that there was no way I expected Survivor Series to come anywhere close to that, match quality wise or just excitement level wise. All I wanted was an entertaining show, and I feel like I kind of got that in some ways, but in other ways, I was a little upset with the booking of the show. Let's start with the kickoff. We saw Team Raw, Bobby Roode, Chad Gable, The Revival, Ascension, B Team, and Lucha House Party versus Team SmackDown, The Usos, New Day, Gallows and Anderson, Sanity, and the Colognes. First of all, how many of these teams are not being used on the weekly shows, Raw and SmackDown? It's weird. Lucha House Party, I don't really know much about, honestly. I know they're on 205 Live for the most part. Sanity hasn't been used on SmackDown in how many months at this point? The Colognes, I feel like they haven't been on SmackDown in over a year. Gallows and Anderson are barely used. This is one of those matches where let's just get as many other people who aren't on the card in a pre-show match. For the most part, though, I thought the match was good, especially towards the end where a lot of the filler teams got eliminated and the crowd finally woke up and got into it. The spots with New Day and the Usos going up against the Revival and Roode and Gabriel. I know Bobby Roode probably shouldn't be on the pre-show, but I still thought this match delivered all of those high spots of them going outside the ring and the part where Gable did the suplex to the outside on top of everyone. I know we've seen people do a big spot on top of a crowded group like that before, but the German suplex especially, that was something different. And the Usos, New Day, Team SmackDown gets the win. Although apparently the kickoff show does not matter. And apparently the tag teams don't matter either, because this win did not count when it came to Survivor Series, the show, when they kept track of each match and who won. On the actual show, Team Raw versus Team SmackDown, this is the women. Raw is Mickie James, Bayley, Sasha Banks, Tamina, and Nia Jax, the biggest heel of the company now, versus Team SmackDown, Naomi, Asuka, Carmella, Sonya Deville, and mystery partner Mandy Rose. Not so much of a surprise, to be honest. I thought this match was good. I love the fact that Nia Jax is this big heel. I love that people hate her. I was never really a big fan of Nia Jax. I never saw her as a good wrestler or even a decent wrestler, and I never bought her as some role model for certain sections of the crowd. And the fact that people hate her now works on so many levels. She gets so many boos. Everything that she did in this match, she got booed. Anyone who did a move on her or attacked her got cheered. Tamina, I still don't understand why she's on the roster. I was very glad when she got eliminated. Naomi got eliminated pretty damn quick, and that didn't make too much sense. I love the Carmella dance breaks. Love it. Love it. Mandy Rose, she has something. There's something about her personality that works. And yeah, she's not too bad to look at either. I don't understand Bayley and Sonya both getting counted out. I know sometimes these Survivor Series matches, they do a count out to protect somebody, but really, Bayley, you're protecting. Sonya, I mean, maybe they'll do something with, but it just seemed like an odd spot. Sasha versus Asuka. I love that the crowd was still cheering Asuka. It shows that no matter how horrible they've been booking Asuka, the crowd wants to like her. They want to get behind her. They want her to be that dominant Asuka once again, and I think she did a good job throughout this. Her and Sasha had some good spots until Nia threw Sasha off the top rope. I guess she wanted to be the one to pin Asuka. She did, and wow, a week after everybody on Twitter was pissed at Nia and they called for her job, called for her head, they put her over in this match, and I would be more upset because once again I do not like Nia and I don't want to see her get a push out of this at all. But it makes sense that she would win this to get some heat so that when she does get her title shot, hopefully she loses there, and hopefully whether it's the Women's Royal Rumble or it's some confrontation where Becky one-ups her, gets her revenge on Nia. I guess you have to get Nia. You have to build her up a little bit before any of that happens. Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura. This was a really good match as well. A sleeper match that I don't really think anybody was thinking about going into the show, or probably will talk too much about after, but there was some great moments. At this point, Raw was up 1-0 because the tag teams don't matter. So I figured Shinsuke was going to win. And I thought maybe Dean Ambrose would interfere, make an appearance, a distraction of some sort. But no, he never did. They went back and forth. So many near falls and convincing near falls since I didn't know who was going to win. And then Rollins got the win. Once again, really good match. Authors of Pain versus The Bar. This match was just sort of here. I didn't care either way who won. The spot where Drake Maverick pees his pants. First of all, it wasn't a lot of pee. So, I don't know if maybe he didn't perform the way he was supposed to, and it was supposed to be more than that or be more embarrassing. I'll never forget the time where Vince McMahon peed his pants in the middle of the ring because Austin was going to shoot him in the head and blow his brains out. That was great. Classic. You can't recreate that. This just, I think somebody on Twitter put it very well when they said that NXT was filled with these great matches, and then the next night on Survivor Series, you get a grown man peeing his pants in the middle of a match. Yeah, the Authors of Pain get the win. Surprise, surprise. Buddy Murphy successfully retained the Cruiserweight title against Mustafa Ali. I missed about half of this match because my internet was screwing up. I had to turn the network off and turn it back on and try to get back to it. But I saw the last few minutes of the match, and from what I saw, it was pretty good, and the crowd was into it. So it was nice to see the Cruiserweights get a spot on the actual pay-per-view, especially because I'm not watching 205 Live on a weekly basis. I think that the division should be pushed a little harder. A part of me wishes, though, that the SmackDown tag team and the Raw tag team match from the kickoff was on the main show. But I guess one of those two matches had to be sacrificed in some way. Team Raw versus Team SmackDown. Raw is Braun Strowman, Drew McIntyre, Dolph Ziggler, Bobby Lashley, and Finn Balor versus SmackDown. The Miz, Jeff Hardy, Rey Mysterio, Samoa Joe, and Shane McMahon. This match, I was very upset that Samoa Joe got eliminated less than 2 minutes in. The crowd was hot for him. They were chanting Joe. They were into him starting the match with McIntyre. And then when he gets eliminated, everybody starts booing. And that was me. I was so upset. I don't understand this booking of Joe. Not only do you have him lose all of those matches with AJ Styles, which I guess is fine because I like AJ keeping the belt at that time, but man, you're not doing Joe any favors. You could have easily, if you wanted to eliminate somebody, I like Jeff Hardy, but it could have been Jeff. It could have been The Miz. It could have been a lot of other people, but no, you take Joe out so fast, and it's ruining him. You don't do this to Joe. I hope the crowd shows some support and it forces them to do more with Joe, because right now that just sucked. And Rey Mysterio had a good showing. Shane McMahon, as much as I thought he should have put AJ Styles in this spot, doesn't really make sense that Shane would be in this match wrestling with guys this young, but he did bring it. He did the elbow drop off the top rope to the outside through the announce table on Strowman. He did the coast to coast. He went for it a second time. He eliminated Dolph Ziggler again. So Shane, look, he can do those high spots. He can bring excitement. He can do this to a certain level. I just would like to see somebody else maybe in that spot. But Raw dominated, let's be honest. Finn Balor got eliminated and Dolph Ziggler got eliminated. We're surprised the two small guys are eliminated, and then the three big men are left standing. Lashley, McIntyre, Strowman. I was actually surprised that they had Strowman pin as many people as he did, like 3 people, just because I thought McIntyre would be the dominant one after what he did to Kurt Angle, and Bobby Lashley was just sort of there. But okay, fine. Raw, clearly a clean sweep because Stephanie McMahon needs more to boast about and brag about, so I can't wait to see that on Monday. Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair. This match was great. And honestly, other than the finish, which I didn't mind actually, this match was probably the best match of the night. Just the brutality, the physicality. Ronda, this was her toughest match to date so far. Charlotte brought it to her. Charlotte did not take it easy. I think this match showed that Charlotte is one of the very best on this roster. Because Ronda's not bad, but she's not at that great level yet. So you could tell Charlotte had to carry her a little bit. But I just thought there was so many spots that made it look like a real fight, made it look like a legit, they were going at it. And Charlotte, at the very end, she bloodied Ronda in her mouth, and then she got the kendo stick, got disqualified, beat the holy hell out of her. I did see this finish because she got disqualified, and then she beat up Ronda and left her bruised and battered and just messed up. I did wonder if this was going to be the original ending with Becky. I could totally see Becky ending this match the same way, where she takes Ronda to the limit, but then gets disqualified, beats the crap out of her. I don't know if doing the chair on the next spot and then Ronda getting up and leaving, walking on her own will after that was the best move. But Ronda did look affected by the fans booing her, and I don't know if that's a hint to a heel turn or if that was just Ronda being herself and not liking the crowd reaction. But this fire from Charlotte was much needed. It's the most I've heard her cheered in months, many months. It felt like Charlotte was in Becky's spot or inhabiting the spirit of Becky somehow, some way, possessed by her. The crowd was chanting Becky's name throughout the whole night. So this worked for me, especially if we end up getting a rematch between the two. Hopefully Ronda and Becky, main events WrestleMania. But let's talk about the main event. Brock Lesnar versus Daniel Bryan. This was weird at first because Daniel Bryan is now a heel. And at the beginning of this match, he stopped doing the yes stuff. He was trying to get people to boo him. Obviously, the crowd doesn't like Brock Lesnar, so it's confusing on who to cheer for. Brock was dominating the match with suplex and blah, 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 stuff you've seen over and over again. I thought this was just going to be a squash. I wasn't into it. But then Bryan hit that low blow. I thought he was going to get the win with the knee, and then Bryan got some offense, and Brock sold for him, and they went back and forth. And sure, Brock got the win. He got the F5. But still, this match ended up being more competitive than I thought. The crowd started to cheer Daniel Bryan at some point. And that was refreshing to see because this was a match that I've wanted to see for years. So we finally got it. I do think that it could have been better if Bryan wasn't a full heel at this point. But either way, Survivor Series, decent show. Could have been better. It always can be better. Let's be honest. Let me know in the comments below. What did you think of the show? Did you like it more than I did? Or did you think it absolutely sucked? Like, comment, subscribe. Later.